Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Cyrese, your number one source for Filipino content on helping skinny young natural guys build drug free muscle who are under the age of 30, who are trying to build muscle completely drug free, who are skinny and look like little twigs, who have no meat or muscle on their body whatsoever. Thanks for tuning in to another video. For this one, we're going to talk about the dumbest exercises skinny guys do. That way, you guys can stop wasting your time. Sound good? Sound cool? All right, cool. Now let's get right into it. A little bit of proof, a little bit of background here. I used to be skinny myself. I was pretty skinny. I'll show you guys a quick little photo. I was pretty skinny. I was a little bit of a twig. Like I might look like I have abs or a little bit of muscle here, but I'll tell you what, once I put a shirt on, I look literally super tiny. Here's a better photo. Like I was pretty much a twig. Didn't have any like muscle really going on, but through 15 years of lifting as a natty, about a decade's worth of research on like everything within these topics like training, recovery, optimization, nutrition, all that stuff in between, I was actually able to put on some decent size. So this was like a pic of me like a few months after seriously lifting. Same with this one. Put on some pretty decent size while also maintaining my leanness as well. So I was able to stay pretty shredded as well too. Over that time, I've also helped countless other people go from like skinny to pretty shredded to putting on some decent size, as well as helping some guys go from fat to skinny as well too. So I know what it's like. I know what it's like to build muscle as a young, natural, skinny guy. But yeah, let's see. The next thing, the point of this video is to kind of expose a couple of pointless lifts that guys do that are kind of stealing their gains. I'll tell you guys what to do instead. I'll give you some alternatives. The plan for the video is to kind of cut the fluff, keep this video nice and concise, keep it short, and just basically show you guys some better choices, help you guys train with purpose. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably not seeing any gains at all after spending months at the gym. I know that sucks, that's terrible. Maybe you guys are copying influencers and you still feel small. Copy all these different workouts you see online. There's all this different conflicting information. You don't know who to trust. Maybe you're confused why your progress feels fake. Maybe you're stuck in the high rep, no growth trap and you're not seeing any results. If any of that stuff sounds like you can relate to it, then this video is definitely for you. What I want you to imagine instead is imagine training with clarity and focus. Imagine getting stronger and bigger completely naturally. Imagine every set you pushing yourself closer towards your goals and the physique that you actually want. And imagine not wasting any more workouts for the rest of your lifting career. That is pretty much the goal of this entire video. Now, if any of this stuff sounds cool, sounds interesting, I've got tons more information just like it. I'll put the link in the description below if you guys want to check that out. So let's go over a couple of these exercises here. Let me just minimize them so you guys don't get distracted trying to read all of them. We'll just go through one at a time. Number one, cable crossovers and flies. So couple of things here. Basically, I want you to ditch isolation work if you're still underbuilt, and what I'd rather much have you do is focus on compound pressing, hit your full range of motion, and worry about progressive overload other than anything else. So I'm not saying that cable crossovers and cable flies aren't great. In fact, they're pretty amazing. They give you a super good stretch. They feel really good, and they're really good at helping you feel that mind-muscle connection as well too. But what I'm trying to say here is that you need to focus on these big compound lifts that are going to give you the most bang for your buck first, and then you can start focusing on some accessory work like cable crossovers and flies. If you want to keep flies and cable crossovers in your program, in your routine, that's completely okay, but just make sure that at the start of your workout, you're hitting a big compound lift like a bench press or an incline bench press or a decline bench press or any type of variation like with dumbbells or anything like that, which is going to give you the bulk and most bang for your buck for when it comes to your growth and your gains as a natty lifter. And then towards the end of the workout, once you've kind of pre-exhausted your chest, you've pre-exhausted your triceps through all this heavy pressing, that's when I'd rather have you throw in something like cable flies and cable crossovers. So don't get me wrong, it's okay to do them. I still do them all the time, but I do all my heavy lifts first, because they're going to be the most useful and they're going to give you the most results. And then I throw in my cable crossovers and flies towards the end. A little bit of background for myself. I used to spam a ton of cable flies. Sorry, some people were just passing by. I used to spam a bunch of cable flies and I wasn't really focusing on my bench press at all. And I felt like I was growing, but I wasn't really growing significantly. Once I started to bench press and really focused on my numbers on the bench press, that's when my gains shot up. That's when my size shot up. And that's when my chest finally started to see real visible gains. So the next thing here, number 2, is excessive machine work. Basically, machines are tools, but they're not the foundation. What I'd much rather have you do is get strong at the free weight basics and use machines after the heavy work. So this pretty much goes hand in hand with cable crossovers and flies. It's kind of the same idea. Basically, machines are great. They're super good. They give you a super good pump, a super good mind-muscle connection too if you can pick the right ones or if you have the right ones in your gym. But you shouldn't rely on them for the bulk of your workout. What I'd much rather have you do instead is to get strong at free weight basics. So basically what I'm trying to say here is focus on your compound lifts. Pretty much that's anything with a barbell, and you do that at the beginning of your workout. So that's like barbell rows where you're pulling the barbell up towards your chest, barbell like overhead press to work out your shoulders, any type of bench variation, so like a barbell flat bench, decline bench, incline bench. Focus on like pull-ups. Pull-ups are really great. And once you've done all that at the beginning of your workout, not all of them, maybe you pick 1 or 2 to focus on for your workout that day or whatever muscle group you may be working on, then you can throw your machines in at the end or the middle of your workout after you've knocked out all the heavy stuff. That is typically like I mentioned, all the compound lifts. So a little bit of example here. I had a guy who I helped out who could leg press like tons of weight. You know, he was leg pressing 3 plates for reps super easily. But once we threw him like under a bar and actually asked him to squat, he was struggling and he could barely struggle, and he was struggling to hit the 1 plate with proper form. So we kind of turned those numbers around and we flip-flopped him. That way he started to focus on his squat and his gain started to really shoot up because he was incorporating his whole body by squatting under an actual squat bar instead of just using a leg press, which I said again, machines are great. Leg press is an amazing exercise, but it really isolates the quad where compared to like a squat, a free weight squat under the barbell, you're really using your whole body because you need everything to do a squat. You need to tighten your core up, you flex your back, you flex all your leg muscles, everything's incorporated. Now, number 3, the overhead dumbbell side bends, or AKA like ab finishers. Another thing is to kind of cut weird Instagram core stuff, basically any kind of these silly workouts you find on Instagram. Dumbbell side bends, they're like the muscles they're the exercises that train your obliques. Basically, like look at this picture here, or like this picture here. Basically, you hold a pair of dumbbells or like a plate, and you tip side to side, and that's gonna train your obliques. Which I mean, I guess is good, but it's a little bit of silly. And I don't even train obliques like ever because honestly, like training your obliques kind of gives you like this boxy look, and you don't really want that. You want kind of more of the V taper look. So in this picture, I do look kind of boxy just because I feel like my clavicles are pretty wide and my waist is pretty wide, but that's just my genetics. What I'd much rather have rather than like the boxy look is the V taper look. So you see how I'm kind of shaped like a V here. My lats aren't that big here, but that's like a decent example. Let's see if I can find a better one. I guess here, like you see how my body's kind of tapering in. It's like wider at the top. Like that's kind of more the look that you want to go for rather than this one's a little bit better. It kind of shows it better how it tapers in from like a V. It's a V taper. So instead, avoid stuff like that, and what I'd rather have you do is train your abs with purpose. When you train your abs, treat them like any other muscle group. You focus on progressive overload. You focus on doing like heavy exercises, sets of like 8 reps to 12 reps. A lot of people train abs and they do like plank for 5 minutes. I don't know why. I don't know where that comes from. Or they do like 200 crunches in a row. Like your muscles aren't going to grow that way. You need to train your abs the same way you train any other muscle group. Focus on heavy lifts, sets of 8 to 10, 8 to 12, like I said earlier, and then focus on progressive overload. And your abs will actually grow just like any other muscle group as well too. Like here I was training my abs all the time, and although I was pretty lean, my abs are starting to actually grow and gain like decent size as well too. Because your abs will grow, like they will get bigger if you train them properly. So I guess that's about it. Those are the 3 things I wanted to talk about. If you guys are looking for more information, I offer a complete A to Z program that is literally designed for young, natural, skinny guys who are under 30 who want to build drug-free muscle. I'll say that one more time. If you are a young, natural, skinny guy under 30 who is trying to build drug-free muscle, you should definitely check this out. I'll put a link in the description below, completely free for you to check out. At the very least, you should go check it out and see what's up, see how I could help you out. But if not, that's cool too. Maybe that's not you. Maybe you're not my target demographic. Totally okay. Feel free to just like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about the video. Hit the notification bell if you guys want to see more videos just like this one. But if not, thanks for tuning in. Peace out. See you guys on the next one.